So here we are at Levens Bridge, just north of Carnforth. We've just parked up here in the lay-by. Got the last 2 or 3 spots. There are, I think, 12 of us. There's enough of us anyway to have a good walk. Plenty of traffic about. And Peter's our leader today.
In theory. And we're parked here at Levens Bridge, and what we're going to do is we're going to go over the bridge and up through the deer park to the far exit, cross the Kendal bypass and go up to the canal that is filled in at this point. Go up there for a while and then strike over to the east, come to the railway, cross the railway, and it says footbridge there, so I presume we go up and come down and break our way over to Stainton and then drop down, do a couple of manoeuvres and find our way back. We're going now towards Hincaster. I think we're on the canal here, and we then go under the... Do we go under the bypass? I can't remember. Anyway, and then cross the railway, and we follow a track over here that is it's part of the canal, but it's not on the canal. It's an avoidance of the tunnel at Hincaster. Then we're through Hincaster village and we're down here aiming towards Heversham, but we don't get to Heversham, and then we cross back and come down here back to the A6, just up the A6 and back to the cars, and it claims to be 5.3
miles,
miles, yes.
I don't know about climbing. I think, as I say, there's 12 of us. It's a bit misty at the moment, but the weather forecast is that it's going to tidy up and we should have some decent weather later on. So let's see how we go. So we set off and we're now coming through Levens Park and the deer park through Levens Park. So we're now on a track. It's a lovely avenue of trees, this. The river is down at the bottom there. There's another path the other side of the river that you can go up. Nice little circular route if you want to do that, a short one from where we parked. And then we're coming along the avenue here, along the track, and just heading up towards, heading north at the moment. Pleasant walking at the moment, pleasant underfoot. Just do the mist lifting, get a bit of blue sky out, it'll be very pleasant. So I said it was a deer park, and there we are. Fair way off, and it's just had a look at us but realises that the distance that we are, we'll never get near it, even with our speediest runner. So this is Levens Park Deer Park. So we've just come off there, off the track through the trees there. There's a gate down the bottom, just behind this copper beach. And we're now walking up this little lane, which is taking us over a road bridge over the A590, which is the Kendal bypass. Up to the lakes or off to Barrow. We're heading up towards Sedgwick and Hincaster and that way. So, a bit of road walking now. Being very kind to us today, not much bog at all today. So this is the old canal that we're walking on now, that's long been filled in, and one of the canal bridges here with some of our number on it already. But this was part, and there's been talk in recent years of reopening it. Whether they will, we'll see. But that's one of the old canal bridges there. and you can see going through, you can see the line of the canal. Hello! You can see the line of the canal going down through there. That's not particularly been filled in, that's just been drained. This is the part that's been filled in, going down here. So with a nice brisk little climb up by those two trees, and we've dropped down to the bottom there, come through the gaps, over the stiles, and we're uphill again, up to the top up here, and then we're heading down to cross the West Coast Main Railway line, which is down at the bottom. We'll probably find some trains in a couple of minutes because it's busy enough. See something going through, I've no doubt. And there we go, there's one of the trains. That was a Trans-Pennine Express going north towards somewhere, Scotland no doubt. So we caught one train anyway on the so this is the West Coast Main Line. We're just crossing it from that the footbridge here. That's south towards Lancaster, Preston, and places that Avanti trains don't go. And then this is north, and as you can see, there's one signalled in, so I think we might just wait for that.
Got a train coming.
Yeah. So we've come over by the Lonesome, not the Lonesome Pine, the Lonesome Oak, I think, or a beach or something. Just down, followed that hedge down to the bottom here. And there's a path there that comes up here to the footbridge. You know, we're just waiting for the train to come. Wave to it, Jeff. Okay, so there's one here southbound. That's an Avanti. Could be a London train. He's well on the way there. Bouncing along. And there's still one to come the other way. We'll wait for that. Be along in a minute. And here's the northbound one. This is a goods train by the looks of things. Good old Tesco. There's a lot of that stuff kept off the road, wasn't there? Well done. So there is supposed to be another little train coming along here, but I don't know whether we're going to wait. This is where we've had Levens, is the bottom of the bridge, and I think we're ready to move on now. So we've been coming over and along here. You can just make out over there. Just make out the supports for the electric wires for the trains. We've come over the top there by that single tree, and then down here and up this bit, and Peter's just looking at where we should go next. Oh, and we found a bike. So we avoided going over fields and bogginess, and came down the road, come down to this path, which has brought us to the canal at Hincaster here, and we're going along here now. No doubt these swans won't be too keen on us going near them, but I think that's a young one near nearest us, the Signet. That might be Mum and Dad with them. But, they're going away from us, so they're not squawking and hissing at us. So this is a dammed end of the canal, which is quite interesting. It's been dammed here and shut off, as you can see, and yet come under the bridge and there it goes. But it doesn't look as much of a canal up there. Anyway, let's go on to a little bit more canal history further on. So we've walked along here. This is where the canal's still going, and then again it's dammed again here, and then this is the old canal. I don't know what on earth is going on here. That won't have been the lining when it was originally built. It's plastic or man-made fibre of some sort. So there's lots of stuff going on with this canal. There is a lot of talk, as I said before, about it probably reopening, but it just depends. A lot of trees falling into it there. A lot needs working out, but there's obviously something happening with it. So finally, this is the end of the blocked off. There's the towpath. This is the end of the blocked off canal. Coming this way, done to accommodate the Kendal bypass. Main road up at the top here that you can hear and see some cars going past at speed. But that's what this was. That's what this was for. So we've come under the main road here from the other side. We're just back up a footpath, and we're coming now almost along the banks of the towpath of the old canal. And this is what's called Hincaster tunnels, because the canal went through this tunnel here that you can just see coming up. There we go, that's where it went, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it shortly. So this is where the water would be, in the lighter grey-green, and goes up to the tunnel there. Because of the height of the tunnel where Graham's standing, he'll be standing roughly where the water was. The horses, and there's no path going through, the horses couldn't get through. And so the horses went on this path here and through the hole there, over the top, and met at the other side of the tunnel. And here there would be somebody, and we're trying to work out the name. It might be Legger. It's somebody that goes and gets on the back, on the top of the barge, and walks the feet along the ceiling of the tunnel to get the barge through the tunnel to the other side. We'll go and have a look in a moment, just up there, and see if we can see any marks on the roof. Again, this is there's the bypass in the background, you can just see that. Here's the canal, and the towpath, as I said, finishes. We turn round now, no entry into the tunnel, and this is the tunnel at Hincaster, going right the way through there. If we can get it. I don't know whether we can. No, we can't get it. Can't get it in focus. But that looks like a keyhole, but it's actually the reflection. It's only a semicircle, is that? And it just goes right the way along. And this is Hincaster Tunnel on the canal. There are some notice boards here, information, the stuff that I'm sure Jeff will have taken. And yeah, fascinating. So the horses with their handlers had come up this path. That's the bridge down below that I took the picture from through the tunnel. Bring the horses up here, up to this little tunnel, and it's quite low actually. So I'm just saying, what would the horses do? But and obviously get through. So they've come through this part and then onto the taller bit here, and all the time the barge is going through on the canal whilst we're going over this little hill here to get us to meet up with it again. So I'm guessing that we'll get up at the top of here and drop down the other side to meet up with the water again. Let's see. Well, we've got to the top of here and there's absolutely no sight whatsoever of the canal coming out, so it's still under this hill somewhere. We'll find it somewhere. We're heading on the footpath, heading this way, and I'm sure we'll come back together with it soon. So I don't know whether I'm catching this accurately or not, but we've come up the hill there, and this is what we looked at before. We think that the tunnel is still going under this, but it's obviously still part of the track, because we're here at another bridge now where the crews and the horses will have carried on. So they'll have walked this path many a time, no doubt, and it's still open access. Have to be careful, it's a bit soggy and boggy, but as you can see, same sort of design. That's just a little footbridge of farm track, same sort of design coming through here, and you can hear the sludge, and then we're heading downhill. So I'm going to switch off now so I can keep my balance. So we've started the descent here now. As I said, it is quite muddy along here, so I'm just having to be careful, but hopefully you can see we're heading down towards this little hamlet. I don't know what it would be for. Might be a staging post for the leggers. By the time they've been through that tunnel, they'll need something to eat and drink. But boy, it's slippy on here. Very slippy. Let's just see what we're doing. I've got about 25 pounds of mud on my boot soles, I think, at the moment. But as you can see, we're heading straight down the bottom of here, down there, and then hopefully somewhere down there we'll find the canal exit. So this is the slope that we came down. We've come down to the bottom to this sort of crossroads and what have you. Plenty of stuff on here. I think there is a track up here now, part of a footpath, and I suspect that will go down there, back to the canal at the end of the tunnel. That's where I think it's going. So this was Hincaster. This was where we had lunch, just at the little crossroads here. Says Hincaster Hall down there, down the no through road, and we're heading off now some way. As you can see from Jeffrey's very nice tartan umbrella, the rain started, so this mist hasn't lifted, it hasn't got sunny, it's pretty chilly, and now it's starting to just not even mizzle. There's just some very few spots coming out. So we've been on track after track. We've just come down that one from up the top there, and I think that is, we're now almost paralleling the track that we went out on through the park, through the deer park. We're heading back now towards the A6 and towards the cars, which are probably about 300 yards away when we get to the main road. So we've virtually cracked it. Good walk. We've done some miles and quite quickly today. A variety of styles. Well, there's been some different ones today. Different styles of styles. Anyway, enough of me prattling on. we're heading back now, going back to the cars. It's been a good walk, sun didn't get out, didn't get wet, and we'll see you next week when we're going, where are we going? Lupton, I think. Lupton and Kirby Lonsdale, around there. So see you then, folks. Bye.